This week, we stan Bo-Katan and more. Earlier this week, the official story trailer for Star Wars Jedi Survivor debuted, reuniting us with Cal Kestis and the rest of the Stinger Mantis crew. Set 5 years after the events of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Cal and his friends Merrin, Cere, and Kryze, as well as BD-1 of course, are continuing their quest to find a safe haven beyond the Empire's reach. And, I'm sorry, is that a High Republic robe? Star Wars Jedi Survivor arrives this April. And if you just can't wait for more Stinger Mantis content, today Cere enters the holotables in Galaxy of Heroes. In a special marquee event, add the former Jedi and unaligned Force user from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order to your squad for careful and calculated missions. Cere protects her allies with an assortment of different buffs, and she works well with others, especially when those others are Cal Kestis. Download Galaxy of Heroes now in the Apple and Google Play app stores. Episode 14, Tipping Point of the Bad Batch, has arrived. Behind? Meet us ahead at the timestamp below. Echo is back, leading a mission to rescue his clone brothers being imprisoned by the Empire. Checking back in with poor Crosshair, the elite clone is under excruciating questioning about the location of Clone Force 99.
They are in possession of something I need.
Omega?
Very good.
Stay strong, Crosshair. Meanwhile, the rest of the members of the Bad Batch are still on Pabu, living their best lives.
Incoming vessel on approach.
It's him! And just like that, the crew's back together again.
I will expect a full briefing on your plan at the summit.
Tarkin? Tech does his tech thing and gets the deets, along with a message from Crosshair.
What did it say?
Plan 88. The Seeker. We are being targeted.
As a fine rebel admiral once said,
It's a trap!
or is it a genuine message of help?
Well, how do we find out?
Watch next week's double-episode season finale of The Bad Batch to find out. And don't forget to check out the latest episode of The Mandalorian Season 3 with Chapter 20, The Foundling, which finds Din Djarin back with his hidden Mandalorian covert and special guest Ahmed Best reprising his role as Kelleran Beck. Watch the latest installment for yourself now, streaming only on Disney+. Katee Sackhoff has been a part of the Star Wars family for over a decade as the voice of Bo-Katan Kryze in Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. With Bo-Katan stepping up as co-star of The Mandalorian, we sat down with Katee to find out how the character has evolved and where we find Lady Kryze on her own personal journey in Season 3.
You've played Bo-Katan for over a decade now.
Yeah.
How has your approach for the role changed in that time?
You know, it's a completely different medium, and I don't think I've realized how different it was, to be honest, until I actually stepped on stage and thought that I had done all of the work and realized that I didn't actually know how Bo-Katan moved and talked and held herself and all of these things that all of a sudden I felt completely unprepared, even though I knew so much about her. She never looked like me. She looked like animated Bo-Katan. And so then all of a sudden, to see my own face as hers was harder than I thought it would be, actually. And then realizing, like, oh no. Like, I'm just looking like Katee right now. Like, Bo-Katan can't do this. Like, she can't move her face as much. She can't talk with her hands. Like, could you imagine if Bo just showed up and she was like, Din!
I would like to see that outtake, honestly, but...
I think that's how the rehearsals go.
Yeah. How has your approach changed then, going from Season 2, when you were first in live action with her, to Season 3?
So I think in Season 2, we were really just like paying homage to animated Bo. So I think for this season, I wanted to lean in and like own pieces of her more. That's what I wanted her to look like. I wanted her to look slightly different, not so much as like just cut out of animation, but that she looks like she belongs in this world.
What can you tell us about where she is on her journey this season?
For people who know her backstory and watched Clone Wars and Rebels, like, this is a woman who has had a lot of challenges in her life, a lot of heartache and disappointments, and she's always done what she thought was right for the Mandalorian people. She's never done anything that she didn't think was the right thing for her people, and she's made a lot of mistakes in the process, and I think that she wears all of that, and there's so much guilt and so much turmoil, and I think that plays itself out a little bit this season. You know, at the end of the season, for her to not take the Darksaber is such a huge moment when we've seen her take it before. Something's different, you know? Yeah. There's a reason why she didn't, and I think it plays itself and lends itself to who she has become and where she's going.
I also love the way she sits on the throne. I don't know if that was your decision.
Like
or
a
if
baller?
Yeah.
Yeah, like she like owns the throne. I think that was a really big thing for like John and I. Like he kept having me sit and then walk back and sit and walk back and change and do this. And he's like, he wanted it to seem slightly disrespectful, I think was what we ended up with. But it is different. It's not the way that you would normally see royalty sit on a throne, and that may be a sort of metaphor for part of her issues and problems.
Bo does her own thing.
She does.
Yeah.
Oh, she certainly does. That's it for this week, but for more on these stories and other news from around the galaxy, check out StarWars.com and be sure to join us right here for This Week in Star Wars every Thursday. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.